What if I told you that the things that you are desperately chasing, more money, fame, success, the perfect body, the appreciation of others, is not what you actually want and will make you miserable over time? It is taking me 20 years to figure this out. I'm going to save you decades of time, frustration, and suffering in the next 10 minutes. We all do this. We all tell ourselves, I will be happy when. I will be happy when I make more money. I will be happy when everyone thinks I am successful. I will be happy when I get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I will be happy when I have a better body. But here is the truth that I wish someone had told me earlier. You are playing a game that is designed to keep you trapped. I've spoken to thousands of people who are just starting their careers, and the most common thing I hear is, I will be happy when, and it's normally money. I'm Chris, and this is embarrassing to admit, but I genuinely thought that I would become happier when I made a lot of money. Even more so, I thought I'd be much happier when other people thought I was successful. I thought that when I made money and when people knew I had, life would simply work out, that I would be fundamentally happy. I chased success, money, and that feeling of acknowledgement forever, always thinking that when people knew that I would feel complete. I've sold 2 large companies. I worked myself to the bone for 15 years, and selling and becoming what I'd always wanted to be did not fill me with the sense of achievement or happiness that I always wanted. I won't downplay it. It was life-changing, life-altering, and it was the best outcome that I could have hoped for. And still I found myself unhappy and unfulfilled. This time though, I didn't have the hope that success would make me feel happy. But going through this process taught me a deeply valuable lesson, and that was that I am worthy right now. You are worthy right now. We are simply chasing and prioritizing the wrong things. Think about it. How many times have you created a goal, achieved the goal, and felt a moment of happiness before you've already moved on to the next goal? Followed shortly by the itch for more, dissatisfaction with the speed of success, and the all too familiar feeling of underachievement. I work with entrepreneurs now. I'm a mentor to founders and CEOs. I've been doing it for years, and I've had thousands of conversations which gave me a unique perspective on how to be successful, how to achieve your goals, and to still be happy and fulfilled. I have clients who are day one founders, failed founders going again, multi-million pound founders, and even through to a few billionaires that I've coached. The one thing the majority of them share in common, they talk about, I will be happy when. However, very occasionally, only occasionally, there are those that truly inspire me. They are fun to be around. They are present in the moment. They've got a great sense of humor and never take themselves too seriously. They're always growing and they're always curious. But the most defining quality of all, they recognize that growth is their purpose. There is not an amount of money that will make them happy. 1 more million in the bank won't make them less lonely. This is where I came to realize over these thousands of conversations that happiness comes from solving meaningful problems rather than avoiding them. And expecting constant happiness often leads to frustration. So far, this has been philosophical, it's been theoretical. But after 20 years of figuring this out, I now want to give you the 3 practical lessons that I have used to become more fulfilled and much happier. Lesson 1, seasons of life and measuring time. Life isn't necessarily a straight path. It moves in seasons. Some seasons will demand relentless work. Others require deep focus on health or relationships or even finances. Expecting to have it all at once is the fastest way to burn out. But beyond knowing which season you're in, you must also measure success in the right way, not just in money, but in the time, the freedom, and the fulfillment that you have. Most people assume success is financial, but if you asked a 95-year-old billionaire if they would trade positions with you as a 20-year-old with no money, they'd do it in a heartbeat. Time is the most valuable currency. There were times I worked 80 hours plus a week, growing my businesses at all costs. My entire focus was on financial success. But in doing so, I sacrificed my health, relationships, and my personal freedom. I thought I was making progress, but I was measuring the wrong thing. After leaving my business, I set time-based goals instead of just financial targets. My focus was to work 30 to 35 hours a week, maintain my health, and spend more time with my family and friends. At first, it was difficult. I felt like I should be pushing harder. But over time, I figured out what I needed to be doing was delegate, automate, or just drop things entirely. That's when I started to truly live on my own terms. So, identify your current season. Are you building, maintaining, or recovering? Measure success in time, not just money. If you're constantly chasing things, you're still going to be trapped. So understand the cost of delay. For some relationships, time is running out. If you only see your parents a few times a year, how many visits do you have left? So lean into your season, whether it's time to work, rest, or grow. Give it what it needs. Once you stop measuring success purely in financial terms and start tracking time, health, and freedom, everything will shift. You stop chasing an endless finish line and you start living the life that you actually want. Now you're aware of the multiple different measurements of success and the different seasons of life. The task is finding out how you can create a life that is easier to switch the seasons. For example, building a career that will give you the ability to take time off to focus on your relationships. There is one concept that will give you this ability, and that is understanding the power of leverage. So lesson 2 is financial freedom through leverage. Leverage is what allows you to break free from trading time for money. Even when I appeared externally successful by selling my business, I was spending 80 hours a week to keep it running despite having a large team. Once I left, I realized that I really didn't need to work and live like that. Relationships suffered, I was tired constantly, and I was never satisfied. So one of the core things that allowed me to help change my life was truly understanding how to build leverage. Now, this isn't a singular concept. It's something that can be applied to multiple different areas of your life. The first is leverage through people. This could be where you build out systems where others execute the work, whether this is staff, freelancers, or VAs, ultimately freeing up your time. Secondly, there is leverage through technology or media, which is where you build or create something once and it works for you forever. For example, a SaaS product or a digital course that can be purchased while you're asleep. And finally, leverage through capital. This is where you make money work for you instead of the other way around. The brutal reality is that most people rely on labor, which is the worst form of leverage when it comes to building freedom. That's why working harder won't necessarily save you. It just keeps you in that cycle. So how do we go about building this leverage? Well, for me, it revolves around some core areas. The first is a focus on skills. The most successful people know how to build skills that bring leverage to their lives. After I sold my agency, I became obsessed with the idea of building my personal brand and growing an audience with the sole aim of being perceived as high value, high quality, and high education for entrepreneurs. My hypothesis was, if I have a large, engaged following of entrepreneurs, then I will be able to create high margin, medium scale, and low effort products to support others with the lessons that I had learned through scaling companies. This was a skill that very few people in the world were good at. And I thought, if I could become one of the best at this, then already people would pay me a lot of money for my knowledge and for my understanding. So straight away, this skill presents me with areas of leverage. I can start a high price. I can offer consulting or group coaching, which has a huge ROI for my time. And I can simply reach more people with any of the key messages that I have. So I deeply recommend that you find a high leverage skill that you can monetize quickly that doesn't require a lot of costs. Most of the time, these skills and the knowledge around them are available on YouTube or social media, and you can build them up on the side. For me, I began building my personal brand when I was already a CEO of my second business, Lottie, and I would share content and engage with my audience during my lunch break and in the evening. I focused on top-end leverage, being the audience, as well as systems, technology, automations, and AI in the operations and the bottom end of the business. I won't deny the first year setting it all up was hard work, but my intention was never to build a massive company again. It was to build a company that provided 5 to 10 million a year and always allowed me to live a balanced life. Once you start to build more leverage in your life, things will start to become more clear. You will have more time to think about what truly brings you happiness and purpose. You will have more time to spend with people who mean the most to you, and you'll start to figure out that true success actually comes from freedom more than anything else. So now that you understand the power of leverage, the next concept is something that will truly allow you to escape from the mindset that I discussed at the start of the video. Before I tell you truly the most important lesson, can I please ask that if you liked this video, you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and back to the final lesson. Lesson 3, the illusion of I'll be happy when. Happiness begins where expectation ends. As Tim Ferriss says, happiness is reality minus expectations. Most people don't realize that their own expectations is what's keeping them trapped. They tell themselves, I will be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when I get the respect that I deserve. I'll be happy when I find that perfect relationship. But this mindset sets you up for constant disappointment. Happiness isn't found in these external achievements. It's created by managing expectations, by solving meaningful problems and finding fulfillment in the journey of growth. Managing expectations isn't about lowering your standards, it's about being adaptable, it's about recognizing what's in your control and learning to find contentment in the process, not just the outcome. Most people will chase money because they believe it will bring them freedom, but real wealth will come from balance and a continuous cycle of financial, social, time, physical, spiritual growth. If you chase one area, you will always feel like something is missing. Stop playing the I'll be happy game. You won't win it. The finish line will keep moving. You will always find something else to chase. The moment that you hit that goal, you will feel the same itch to move on to the next thing. If you don't learn to enjoy the process, you will spend your entire life waiting for happiness that never arrives. Recognize the real reason behind your chase. Most people think that they are chasing success, but what they really want is acceptance, validation, and love. And the irony is, these are the things that don't really come from money. They are things that you can give yourself right now. So shift from external success to internal success. The most powerful form of success is confidence, that kind that comes from knowing that you are enough. You build this when you stop worrying about what others think, when you share your dreams without fear of judgment, and when someone who used to intimidate you no longer has power over you. This is real freedom, not the fake kind that you see on social media. So make sure you set the right goals. Chasing nothing isn't the answer either. Goals really matter, but only because they are connected to meaningful growth. The key is to focus on the journey, not just the outcome. The purpose of the goal is to create exciting challenge, not just to tick a box. Happiness doesn't come from avoiding problems, but by tackling the ones that bring you purpose. If you chase financial success at the expense of your health, your time, and your relationships, you will feel empty when you get there. When you stop postponing happiness and start finding joy in the journey, everything changes. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop waiting around for the next achievement to bring you fulfillment. You stop playing that game that is designed to keep you chasing. And when you finally realize that you were always enough, you start living for real. If you want more valuable content that will actually get you results, hit subscribe. I'm sharing everything I've learned about building freedom in life and in business. Your future self will thank you.